I'd really like to turn over the session to Stephen. As I said, he's our broker. There's no one better to explain two important concepts that are unique to Coldwell Banker, and that's the listing concierge and the real Vitalize program. With that, Stephen, I'll let you take over.
Excellent. All right. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate the opportunity. And I'll take a few minutes to talk about the marketing that we have for a listing, and then a couple of other programs we have, including Real Vitalize, and then also Exclusive Look, because if we're also talking about how do we help our buyers, that platform helps both buyers and sellers. So I'm going to talk just briefly about that one as well. And to get started, first of all, as has already been mentioned, we're an international company. We're a global company, been around for 117 years. We're the oldest real estate company in the world, and everybody knows who Coldwell Banker is. So with that power behind us, we have the ability to offer our agents and in turn our clients programs and things that other companies just don't have the power to do, because most companies most brokerages are franchises, meaning there's one person who owns that office, and then they purchase the franchise name from the big company and have to then buy the things of value, the assets or the marketing things that they can offer their clients. Coldwell Banker Realty, on the other hand, is the brand that's owned by Coldwell Banker, and behind that we get a multi-billion-dollar company. Then it allows us to do a lot of great things for our agents and clients. Just to give you an idea, we're in 40 different countries with over 100,000 agents in Coldwell Banker. All the same company with the same tools, technology, and services that we can offer. So as Jack mentioned, you might find some similarities in different parts of the country with some of the items that I'm getting ready to show you. There might be some slight variations, but for the most part, we have these things rolled out all over the United States. So just to give you an idea of how much real estate we sold, last year Coldwell Banker did $295 billion in real estate sales. So it's a pretty powerful thing when you can go out and sell that many real estate. And we've also got the #1 trafficked real estate website by brokerage of the brands that you see commonly out in the marketplace. So 184 million views last year. And then just in New England, we're the #1 company in New England. We have over 4,000 agents here with 62 offices, and did $16.68 billion in sales. And that's over 20,000 homes sold just in our New England market. So looking at New Hampshire, we're the #1 company in New Hampshire as well, 177 million in the state of New Hampshire. And that's why the Independence Realty Group is with us, and I think that you got a great group of agents here working alongside you as clients. One of the big things that draws not only agents but sellers, especially to us, is our marketing platform. We call it Listing Concierge, and it's the agent's platform where they can offer a marketing package to a seller that no other company does. We're the only company that does this type of marketing, and to be honest, most agents will do a piece here and there, but not all of this together. As an independent agent where I'm paying for my own marketing, it would be almost impossible for me to do all of these things just from a cost standpoint. But when you have a multi-billion-dollar company behind you running 70,000 homes through this program a year, we have the buying power to be able to offer our sellers things that other companies just can't. So I'm going to go through some of the pieces that comes along with this and kind of explain how it works. So first of all, great marketing starts with great photography. We contract with professional photographers in our local areas that participate in our programs where they're taking magazine grade photos, because we're also producing print and video advertising off of those photos. So it all starts with great photos, and then we take that and we start building things with it. First off, we're going to build a single property website. So when you list a home with us, your property address goes into a website URL with that property address in the URL, so that when people Google your property address, comes up higher in the Google Analytics. The nice thing about this for you as a seller is that if someone clicks on the single property website, it's always going to drive them back to your listing agent, because who's better to sell your home than the agent that you hired to do that and knows everything about your home, instead of on some of the public facing websites like Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, where agents might pay to be on there. And sometimes you're not getting an agent who actually knows the home that you're trying to, or the buyer is trying to get information on. So get a website. You also we do some email marketing. So our agents put in to their data into the platform, everyone in their database, and every time they list a property, every person gets a nice email flyer that says that the seller's home has just been listed. That's a great way to expand our market presence and get your home in front of as many people as we possibly can, which is how we get the highest and best offers that we could possibly can for our sellers. Next, we're going to do a virtual property tour. So this is a property tour. It's a slideshow set to music off of those pictures that we talked about in the beginning. And then I always encourage my agents, you can have this running at your open house. You can use it on social media. And I said, give the link to the sellers and let them share it on their social media as well, because that all leads to more exposure for the home to people out in the marketplace who might be interested in purchasing the property. Next, we're going to advertise in some print media. Now, for an individual agent, if I were out buying print media, it's very expensive now. A simple newspaper ad could be $700. But what we know is, and we know that 95% of people find their home online, but there's still 5% of the population who are looking in print. So if they're looking there, we should be there. And so what we do as a company is we purchase ads in multiple different print publications. And in our area in New England, there are about 8 different choices that the agent can choose from based on where they think the best exposure for the listing would come from. Typically in my market, that's the Boston Globe, the Union Leader, or the Boston Magazine. Now, the ads that run in the Boston Globe, they work. I have agents come in all the time to say, hey, I got inquiries right off of that, sold the home, and I asked the buyer, how did you find us? It was off the Boston Globe ad. So we know they still work. And I love the Boston Magazine because people pay to get that magazine. And so when they pay to get it, it sticks around. They don't just toss it in the recycle. And we buy the entire middle section of that magazine, and that's an option to put the seller's property in there. So we really try to focus on where do we think that the buyer for this property is going to come from, and let's market in that area as best we can. This is something that's new to us. I'm very excited about it. We used to have a TV program where we would put your home on television. That's something that no other company does. However, just recently we switched to YouTube advertising. Well, why do we do that? Well, because TV programs are regional and they come on at one time, and you have to be watching them to be able to see the ad. And we as agents can't supply the consumer, our seller, with the metrics of how many people actually saw that ad. Well, when we decided to run it on YouTube instead. The reason being, 14 billion people are on YouTube every year. It's the second most trafficked website in the world. So if people are there, we should be there. So what we do is we create a 30-second ad, we put it on YouTube, and we run that until we get a certain number of views. And then we can supply those analytics to the seller to as we evaluate what's our market exposure been with the marketing that we're doing for the listing. I'm really excited about this. We started it about a month ago, and we're already seeing great results. It's a 30-second ad, and even if people skip that or hit that skip ad button, it keeps running until we get the views that we want. So I'm excited about that prospect. The next thing that we do is we create property brochures. So those are the nice brochures that we leave at the home for open houses and for showings to pass out to neighbors. And it's a very professional looking piece that represents the property very well and is always branded with the agent's contact information, because again, we want that listing agent talking to the potential buyers, because who knows that home better. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do direct mail marketing. So that's the postcards that we send out, the just listed, the just solds. And the reason we do it is because they still work. again, it's another thing that I hear all the time when agents come in and say, you know what, we sent those out to the neighborhood, and we got an offer from someone who wanted to live in the neighborhood because their neighbor lives there or a family member. So direct mail still works. I get them at my own house from my agents, and so it's always fun to see those and get those results. The other thing that we do, social media advertising. So we're going to create an ad for the property, and we're going to put it in people's Facebook and Instagram feeds. So with the social media ad and with the YouTube ad that I mentioned a few minutes ago, we geo-target people around the listing who are searching online for real estate related topics. And then when they go on their Facebook, their Instagram, or their YouTube, those ads then appear in their feeds. So they don't have to go and search for the property. They don't have to go and look on the Coldwell Banker sites. It just pops up in their feeds. And the beautiful thing about this is that when they enter their information to open the pictures or get information or get driving directions or request information, that information comes back to the agent so that they can reach directly out to that consumer and try to get them engaged with the property. So it's a great way to get the property in front of people and to be able to interact with them when they've taken the extra step to figure out how much is it going to cost me to buy this house and how do I drive and get there. We on average can get between 10 to 20,000 views for an ad, and oftentimes around 100 engagements. Some I've seen up to 400 or 500, depending on the price point and the market that they're in. So it's a great utilization of social media marketing that's out there. And then we also send an ad like you see on this this iPhone to all of the agents in the area on Fridays of any property that's been listed in this program. It's another way for us to try to get the seller's property in front of the most number of agents who might have buyers who are looking in the area. We put the property out on all of the big websites. We have a service that pushes the listing out to over 700 websites to get maximum online exposure, and everything is always syndicated with the listing agent's contact information. Again, who better to talk about that home than the agent who's listing it. And then the last thing that we do is we put together a report for the seller. It tells them exactly everything we've done to market their property and gives them some hyperlinks to go in and see the examples and samples of what we've done to market that property. So this is a marketing platform. Again, no other company does all of these things. Some might do pieces here and there. This is probably the best program that I've ever seen Coldwell Banker come out with for agents and for our sellers, because I know a couple of things. One, it helps us sell the home, and it helps us sell the home for more money, and that puts more money in the seller's pocket as well. So we're excited about this. It's one of those things that attracts great agents like the Independence Realty Group, and it's something that the sellers really appreciate and looking for that value and what am I getting for my money. So the other thing that I'm going to throw out there real quick, because we have a fair amount of this in New Hampshire, and as people are moving to the area from higher priced areas, we service a lot of clients coming from California, New York, Texas, other places where they might have sold their home and they're walking in buying things for cash. We are one of the leading companies in the luxury market, and we define global luxury as $1 million plus. And there are plenty of those homes in New Hampshire. And we are the leading company in the ultra luxury space. We sold over 350 homes last year with prices over $10 million and 48,000 homes over $1 million. So what that affords us to be able to do is market properties in ways that go above and beyond all the marketing that I just showed you by placing it on international websites, places like Forbes, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, and targeting people of wealth who would want to buy that home. So it's an entirely different marketing package that our agents have access to that service that clientele. So now I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk briefly about a program we have called Real Vitalize. And this is a program that is unique to Coldwell Banker, where in that we're offering a service if a seller has repairs or remodels or landscaping or staging that they need to do to their home to make it more marketable or sell for a higher price. We have a program called Revitalize where our agent can offer that seller an interest-free, lien-free loan up to the list side commission or $50,000 to get that work done. And then Coldwell Banker just gets paid back at closing. So let's say that the seller's meeting with a Coldwell Banker agent and this is, maybe they need their bathrooms updated. Might sound familiar to Jack, but maybe they need the bathrooms updated and but they don't have the money to do it. And we know that if we did that work, we could list it for a higher price and get the seller more money. Well, here you could get that loan, get that work done. We get paid back at closing and everybody makes more money. Everybody nets more money. And this is all about helping our sellers get the highest value for the home that we possibly can. It covers, as I said, everything from landscaping and staging up to remodels and bigger projects. We use this quite frequently in the current market, and it works through Angie and Home Advisor with local contractors. And from the experiences I've had with our agents, they said it's a very easy process to take care of, and our sellers have really enjoyed this. So it's a great program, something unique in that we offer it and we don't charge our sellers any interest or put liens on properties if if there's a repayment situation. And then finally, one of the platforms that we have available to us is a platform called Exclusive Look. And again, this is something that's kind of unique to Coldwell Banker because we have a global power that most brokerages don't have. Again, I talked about how we've got all of those agents all around the world and we're all one big company, not just a broker owner, Stephen, owning an office in New Hampshire. So there's a rule for realtors that says if we forward-face advertise a property, we have to make it available to any and all consumers within 24 hours. But the caveat is that you can market that property internally to all of the agents and your clients of your brokerage. Well, if I'm a broker owner, my brokerage is that one office I own. But as a Coldwell Banker Realty agent, my brokerage is all of those agents worldwide. So for our sellers, we're able to market their property before it ever hits the open market. And if they get an offer they can't refuse, then that's great. And some sellers love not having to pack their kids and their dogs and go sit in a driveway for 2 hours while 100 people come through their home. And some sellers will, get offers that they can't refuse and they take them. Other times they say, you know what, I'm still going to go in the open market, but that's their choice. Now, this is great for a buyer as well. So if you're coming into an area and you're a buyer, your agent, if they're a Coldwell Banker agent, has the power to go in here and maybe find you a property that's not on the open market yet. So will there be competition? Sure, there'll be competition, but not as much. So your likelihood of getting that property under contract just went up. So instead of maybe there being 40 offers, which we've seen recently, again, on homes, maybe there are 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So it's a great way to use it to market listings internally, but it's also a great way to find your buyers something that's not on the open market yet. And as a Coldwell Banker agent sitting in New Hampshire, I can see properties that are in this system in Florida, Texas, California, anywhere that my buyer might want to look, because maybe I've got someone who wants to stay in New Hampshire, but they want a condo in Florida to go down for the winter, and I can help them do that. So it's a great option and opportunity for both buyers and sellers in our market. As we get to the end of this, I also wanted to mention we're a full service brokerage. So one of the things that some recent studies have focused on in the real estate industry is do consumers value a one-stop shop? And what we found is, and this is an independent survey not done by Coldwell Banker, what was found was that consumers are willing to pay a little bit more if you can offer them a transaction where it's a one-stop shop, things are easier, they're streamlined, and everything is taken care of for me. About 80% of the population is willing to pay a little bit more if they feel like they're getting the value out of that. And that's what we do. So we have title services, we have lending services, insurance services, home warranty services. They're all there for our agents and clients. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, you're not required to use them. We simply offer that as an option so that you can have the best experience that we can possibly provide. So as we end, there's some numbers that you see there. $288 million every single day in luxury sales, $295 billion in U.S. sales, and that was over 600,000 homes sold. I hope that was a little bit informative, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about those programs.
Well, that was absolutely great, Stephen. Does anybody have any questions?
I would just like to talk about the referral as well, just briefly, because we obviously are licensed in New Hampshire, our team, but I'm actually helping a seller in Florida through a Coldwell Banker agent, and it's been great, very streamlined. I know exactly what services she has, and I know she's going to take very good care of my client down there. So
that's a very good point. You know, with the consistency of tools, technology, and services that we offer across the country, you know, you can, and there are some programs and offerings in different areas where we're piloting them, making sure they work and for different markets, but you can be assured that your clients are going to be taken care of in a way that you would want to take care of them if they were here. And I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's correct. And I've taken advantage of that, that as well for clients who want to move to New Hampshire, have homes to sell locally, and then assisted them with the sale and the buyer on the side.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Why don't you give us an assessment of the New Hampshire market?
Okay, happy to do it. So the New Hampshire market is, it's got some great things about it right now. It can be a little challenging, sure it can, but there are some wonderful opportunities right now. First of all, if you're a seller, this is a great time to be a seller. There's very little competition, very little inventory. I think the last 2 weeks ago, I checked, we had under 1,000 on that particular day. We had under 1,000 homes in the entire state for sale. So as a seller, you're still going to get top dollar for your home, and it's a great time to be a seller. Now, as a buyer, we did see a pause in buying and mortgage applications and a decreased number of offers back in the fall and in February. Now, what we saw from the data that was released from Black Knight, who is a company that puts together real estate information, puts out data for us to see as agents. What we saw for them recently is we saw the bottom of the price market when we looked at the top 50 markets across the United States. So this is national data. Top 50 markets across the United States, we saw the bottom of the price market last October. So if there are buyers sitting around saying, I'm going to wait till prices come down, you miss the chance. What we're seeing right now nationally and in New Hampshire is a steady march ahead of prices. So it's still a good time to be a buyer, because what have we also seen? We've also seen interest rates moderate. So when interest rates doubled, a lot of buyers took a pause and said, you know, now my payment just went through the roof. Now what we're seeing is buyers become accustomed to the rates that we're at, which are still, historically speaking, quite low. I know that my first interest rate was much higher than where we are now. And we're still seeing opportunities out there for our buyers when homes come on the market now. You've got to be ready. You've got to be pre-approved or even already through underwriting, and go out there and take your opportunities because they're there, and have a great agent. You know, having a good agent that knows the market and knows how to get an offer accepted and how to communicate with that listing agent, that is key right now in helping you get your offer accepted.
Yep, you want to be the last phone call that agent makes before he lets somebody know that they're a purchaser of the property.
That's right. And, you know, people ask me, well, how much should I offer? How much should my buyer offer? My answer is oftentimes they should offer a number that if they get it, they're excited. But if they don't, then they can go to bed saying, you know what, I put my best foot forward and that's okay. And if you can find that balance, then you'll be fine in this market. Might take you a little while, but you'll be fine.
Not unusual to make several offers on different properties, or make, consider offers on different properties until you actually do score that winning.
It is. And we have to have realistic expectations, right? So is it possible that as a buyer, I might go out and get a property on my first offer? Absolutely. But it also could take me 4 or 5 or even 10 offers. And so, when you're working with a good agent who knows the market, who knows how to write those offers and leverage every piece of information that they can for you, then you can rest assured that you will find a house and you'll be taken care of. And know that with an agent who knows, the home, the average list to sell price ratio right now is in this particular town might be 103%. So we probably shouldn't, go $30,000 under ask. But those are all data points that we teach our agents how to look at, especially when they've got buyers looking in certain markets, so that we're educated and we can educate our clients in how they craft their offer.
And I was just thinking that I wanted to point out that I had just attended a mastermind where we covered a lot of this information. I know Jack was just in a training today. So another reason that our team is with Coldwell Banker is because we have such amazing training available to us.
Well, I agree with you. I came to Coldwell Banker as an agent from another big company, and then a smaller boutique prior to that. And that's one of the reasons I came, and it made me a better agent and it got me to where I am now. And I was an agent in this company before I got into the position I'm in. So I appreciate that. And it is valuable because the more we educate and train ourselves, the better we can serve our clients.
That's right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up now because we like to keep it at about a half hour of per seminar. So I really, really appreciate you coming in to the session tonight, Stephen. Something we do every Wednesday night at 6:30. Different topics. Sometimes that we even touch on some controversial topics. Tonight was purely a sales topic, which is really refreshing.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And thanks for everyone for attending.
Thank you.